A little while ago, I got the new expansion to the board game Return to Dark Tower, and that has given me the perfect excuse to revisit this project right here. Now, I'll tell you, the thing I want to fix the most is this. It's really finicky. Now, this lighting solution does work and is relatively cheap and accessible. It's just a modified LED tea light, but it does come with several limitations that I think I can overcome by designing a new one. For one thing, these LEDs are not red. They are tinted red with cellophane. So for this project, I picked up some red flickering LEDs. So hopefully we can take this absolute abomination of wires and hot glue. We're gonna package it up into a much cleaner, much nicer form factor, add some more LEDs onto this, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, I know a number of you guys have been asking where you can get this file. I've got an update for you at the end of the video, so stay tuned. So before I jump onto the computer and start drawing this up, I wanted to try to lay out all my materials and wrap my head around exactly what I'm going to be building here. The biggest issue that I've sort of established is it's going to be the battery housing. Now, originally I was thinking about building my own DIY solution with, some of these switches that I have on hand, similar kind of thing with, soldering to some metal contacts and trying to build a battery cage from scratch. But then I actually came across some of these. This is a little like coin cell battery housing. They open up really nice. An incorporated on-off switch. These wires are a little bit stiffer than I would like for this project, but I think it's still going to work. Going with this is going to drastically simplify what we have to do for this project. So I'm going to try it with this first and see how that goes. Next is going to be LED placement. I think I'm going to shoot for 3 in kind of like a triangular pattern at the top. Yeah, I just need to make a plate with some holes that these can go into, and then a means for that plate to join with this battery housing, and then that should all fit nicely up inside there. So I'm going to jump over onto the computer, start drawing all this up, and then we'll get some stuff printed. Okay, so I've got the parts printed out, did a little bit of cleanup on here, sanded it up, touched it up with a little bit of primer to get rid of some of the scratch marks. And now it's time to actually take a look to see if these parts are actually fitting together the way they're supposed to. And look at that. So that's working out exactly how I had hoped. We got the M3 screw mounting holes, and those should tap in just fine. So the next thing to check is to see whether or not this battery housing is going to fit on our little LED plate. So we got 2 sets of grooves that should capture this, allow this to slide in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that is nice. I'm happy with that. And that's a pretty nice fit as well. Can't shake it out. Let's take a look at it in here just to make sure. And get your hand in there and activate the switch. Nice. All right, last thing to talk about before I get all of this soldered up. So this is a pretty simple circuit. We just got 3 LEDs wired up in parallel. These LEDs are 2-volt red LEDs, and our battery source is 3 volts. So I put a little limiting resistor in here to knock that down to the proper voltage. So now I'm going to take all this, I'm going to solder it up, and we'll see what it looks like installed in the final piece. Take a look at that. I am really happy with how that came out. I mean, dropped it on the floor. Just look how clean that is. Yeah, super happy. That just mounts up inside there with these M3 screws. So that's not going anywhere. Yeah, it's just packaged it up really nice and solid now. I mean, that's really, 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 really clean. Really happy. How many times can I say really? Yeah, there's always something really fun when you add lighting to a project. Just kind of brings it to life a little bit more. And I definitely think that the addition of that third LED helps bring the lighting all the way around So no matter which side of the tray you look at, you can still see that nice red glow coming from inside there. So yeah, did I say I was pleased? I'm pretty pleased. I had just a little bit of gloss medium, a little bit of dry brushing, kind of help bring out some of those hard surface details, some of the sharp edges just a little bit more. One thing I did not actually talk about that much in the original video is just how well this packs up inside the original box. For me, one of the big design goals for this project was something that could fit inside the box, so I'd always have it with me and I wouldn't have to worry about packing it extra. So if you're interested in getting a hold of this file and printing one out for yourself, for your own game, there's gonna be a link in the description as to where you can find the STL file to be able to purchase this. That pack will contain the latest version with the new lighting engine and a bill of materials to show you where you can get the battery housing, the screws, the LEDs, everything you need to make one of these yourself. Additionally, it will include the first iteration that works with the modified LED tea light. And again, this is a good solution if you don't want to worry about soldering or sourcing a lot of those electronic components. And they do work to add a little bit of extra character to this project on a budget. So that's going to be available. This version is also going to be available, and I will modify this version so that it can work with the tea lights or the new lighting system. So there'll be two versions of this in that pack. So if you're interested in seeing how I modified those LED tea lights or just seeing how this project got started, definitely check out that video there.